Good morning, everyone. Shannon here from I Cook You Serve. I'm joined today with Dawn from Pegasus Lift Truck Training. Thank you for joining us today.
Morning, Shannon.
Good morning. Thank you for coming on and joining us for the podcast. It's really great to chat with you and to hear a little bit more about your business. So I just wanted to jump straight in. Pegasus started in 1988. So tell us a little bit about how you got started.
So Pegasus started, yes, in 1988 when my husband decided he wanted to be a driving instructor. So that's the route. We had Pegasus School of Motoring, and that went on for a few years and actually overlapped that in 1995 we changed it and started to do forklift training.
Yes.
We were both working within the industry that we could see there was a need for the forklift training. So that's what we did. We overlapped the two companies at one point, but it carried on as Pegasus, and we celebrated our 25th year this year as forklift training.
Wow, congratulations. And what a background to have in training as well. That's really phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to hearing about the services that you provide. So what was it like when you changed to the forklift training?
It was quite new to companies, so it took quite a bit of effort right at the beginning to get people to understand why they needed to have the training, why they should sort of oversee the safety of their employees, really. And again, it was relatively new, so it was just breaking into that new market. And obviously, it's the standards of today. It's very, very serious and very popular. But it was just, so as the years have gone by, it's progressively got more and more training needed and different services needed as well.
Absolutely. So Pegasus provides quite a range of services and courses. So you have the supervisor and manager's course, forklift training, which is and lift truck training, and a real wealth of other training. It's really tailored, and there's quite a variety of training that you provide, isn't there? So tell us a little bit more about some of the different courses that you provide, some of the different trainings that you provide.
Primarily it's the forklift training, but it's not just forklift, because within warehouses there's obviously all different types of equipment.
Yes.
All sorts, reach trucks, counterbalance, order pickers, the lot, because every different company has different needs for their materials handling. So whatever type of truck it is, we train on, and we offer that full service so that we can just work with the companies. And often they've had training on one type of truck and they change it. They might change and narrow the aisles they've got. So they might go, for example, from a counterbalance or a reach truck and need to go to a pivot steer. So then we can do the conversion courses and work with them, do conversion courses. They might also have outside equipment where they're using telehandlers or scissor lifts for different things. So again, we just diversify and do whichever is needed, really. Alongside that, because of over the years, we've obviously met and worked with a lot of different people, and we've collaborated with a few companies that we know have very high standards and work to how we would require, and have now introduced first aid, mental health training, racking, which we do through that collaboration, but we know that our customers are still getting that standard of training that they expect.
I really like how you've diversified, but also it's really tailored. So whatever your clients need, they can come back to you and say, oh, this has changed, I need this, and you have the answer for that. So I think that's really important, to be able to really help your customers on their journey as a business. And I really like that you go along that with your clients that you have. So I think that's really nice. I love that you brought in mental health and other training courses as well, and that you collaborate. I think collaborations in business are just phenomenal, and it's nice to have a prominent figure within the business community that is constantly working alongside other businesses. So yeah, I think that's really good.
Last year we I don't know what we'd have done without that collaboration and working with our competitors, to be honest. When we were having to shield, our trainers were shielding, isolating for different reasons. it was that kept us going, which was brilliant. But and it also goes further than the training now, because a lot of companies that have known us for 25 years plus will come to us and say, can you help us find a forklift truck? We want to
Brilliant.
look for a new truck. Can you do that? Can you help us with, we want to hire, or can you come and train, but we can't release the forklift training, we can't release the forklift, so can we hire a truck in from you? Can you help us with a breakdown? So we're sort of getting asked for lots of different things within that same industry now, which is brilliant.
That is brilliant. That is really good. And I love that client relationship that you're constantly building as well is so important. Your clients clearly place a lot of trust within you. So that's really, really, really great to hear. I think it's just something that must be promoted. So within the lift truck training area, is there an accredited body? Is there some rules or regulations that you have to follow? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it's all very highly regulated now for safety standards. We're actually accredited by ITSA, which is one of the accreditation bodies. There's sort of a handful of accreditation bodies, but companies know that if you're accredited with one of those bodies, that we all work to that same standard. And it is regulated. The trainers get monitored each year to see that they're up to standard. One of the accreditation examiners will sit in the classroom and watch them actually undertaking lessons of what they're doing, just to make sure they're up to that standard. But it also gives companies that reassurance and that confidence that they know that we are at a certain level of training. And also the training now, everyone we train gets loaded onto a national register.
Oh, okay.
So onto a top scheme. So again, that's also reassuring for customers to know that it is recorded and everything's above board. They have their certificates and all the paperwork is kept. And even now, we'll perhaps have people that want copies of certificates maybe 5-6 years ago and paperwork, so they come back to us and we can normally help them.
Brilliant. That's really good. I just have really just honed in on the standards that you have and the level of work that you provide for your customers, that you have very high standards, and it's what you do is really serious, and I love that you take it really seriously. I think that's really great to hear. So something else that I want to chat to you about is space back. So with the work that you do, you work within a lot of warehouses, with your clients work within a lot of warehouses and different areas. So I love that you've brought space back in to support your clients with the cleaning of those different areas. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, that was a really good collaboration, actually. We saw the system, we were really impressed with it, spoke to SpaceVac a few times, and we're now actually their Midlands distributors for the Midlands, Northants, etc. And we tend to sell the systems. We can arrange the cleaning, we can get that done, or the systems can be rented. But I think it's such a versatile system for people. If you've got high ledges really high up in the warehouse, or even if it was like shops or anywhere, then the SpaceVac system can reach up to 12-14 meters. We can even go up to nearly 19 meters.
Wow.
So that's standard, especially in today's times with COVID and everything around. Just knowing that you haven't got that dust that's sitting up there and falling down, and certainly areas like engineering or printing workshops that have to be so careful with their dust falling onto the papers. And also so by getting rid of that dust at those areas, that prevents that problem. And also there's a lot of dust related illness around people that are working within, maybe where they're working with wood and things. There's a lot of dust that gathers there, and if that gets into their lungs and things, then so by going back to basics and preventing that buildup of that dust, the SpaceVac system is a really reliable system to get rid of that. And then not only that, you can use it for exploratory work. So you think you've got a bird's nest up in the eaves, you want to look at lighting, it's got a camera on the end, so you just
Brilliant.
send the camera up, have a look, see what's going on. If you've got problems with guttering, you can use it to observe with the gutter. So yeah, I think it's one of those systems that once a company have it, they find there more and more uses for it.
Nice, I love that. I think also with just staying on space back for a little bit, it's also the cleaning times are massively reduced as well, because you don't need as much room, you don't need to move things around as much. So the service that you enable other people to use is just phenomenal, and I love how it sits within the training that you provide in the customer experience. It always comes back to that and the high standards. So I think that's really, really amazing.
And I think,
Go on.
sorry. No, it's okay. Carry on, because I've forgotten what I was going to say.
No, that's okay. So something that I feel really captures the high standard of work that you work to is the Northamptonshire Forklift Driver 2019. So this driver was trained by you. Pegasus has been recognised that because the training was done with you guys, with Pegasus, because the training was done with Pegasus, that's why they got the award. So tell us a little bit more about that.
It was a Northamptonshire Logistics Forum that had set up the competition. So there was a lot of the big companies, you know, Weetabix, Alpro, Wincanton. There was a lot of the big companies, so it's quite competitive.
Yes.
And they had to play like a game of football with the trucks picking up the balls, and not play a game, but, you know, do different things with footballs and all sorts of challenges. So yeah, it was nice to learn that the winner was one of our trainees, and he was one that we've worked with throughout, doing different assessments, training him on different equipment, probably worked with him for 5-6 years on different things. So it was really good that it was Alpro that recognised it was because of our training, which is why he won. So that was good. Yeah, very good. We were really impressed with that. Yeah.
No, that's a real success. So congratulations with that.
Thank you.
Some other successes that I expect you've got coming on your way is the Training Provider of the Year and the Training Team of the Year. So tell us a little bit more about that.
That was Talent in Logistics, their awards evening. Sadly, it wasn't actually face to face. It was a Zoom one, but it was very well organised. And yeah, so we were runners up as finalists in that. There was 3 in one category and 4 in another. Although we didn't win, it wasn't a problem, because it's still really great that we achieved 3 finalists. And I know one of them was the team from Eddie Stobart that won last year. So actually it was a hard act to follow anyway, but just to be recognised for that was brilliant. Really impressed. Yeah.
Oh, that's really phenomenal. Congratulations.
The team were really pleased.
That's really good. That is really good. So something you are very well known for is your networking. Tell us a little bit more about how networking has worked for you. You're an excellent networker. It's really nice to always see you at different meetings and things like that. So expand on that a little bit.
I think sometimes it can be quite lonely because the trainers are out on sites and things. So often if it's just me in the office, it can be a bit lonely. So it's quite nice to have that networking, just to collaborate with people, build up a friendship as well. I mean, pretty much most of, you know, a lot of my, if I say out of work, I don't mean out of work, but away from the business, friends now are part of that network, certainly with the chamber community, like yourself and people that we perhaps don't see each other a lot, but we keep in contact, and it's just lovely to have that. So I do like that. I've recently started a couple which are for business owners that I've been on, and really find that a lot of value, because we know it's not just us that are going through certain problems and challenges, really, especially for last year, having to adapt and diversify. You know, it maybe from the outside it looks like businesses are doing well, but we all have them challenges, and it's just an opportunity when you do the network. And I guess Zoom is quite a lot easier, isn't it, to do than having to drive somewhere, and it doesn't take as much time up. I don't do as much as I did, but yeah, I enjoy it.
Good. That's really good to hear. So I love that you support a lot of other businesses, but I'd really like to know who are your biggest supporters in business and in life?
Family and friends, I guess, really. I think a couple of our biggest advocates are my mum and my auntie, 91 and 92, which they're always wanting to hear, wanting to read, supporting us, asking us how business is. And alongside, the rest of our family, my daughter and etc., they're all just always there to help and support, and friends with a listening ear. So it's good.
That's really lovely to hear.
It's sort of the basics of why we do it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's really lovely. So keeping on the positive, how were you affected by COVID last year?
When 8 of our family had it, it was a bit of a challenge. One by one, they all got it, including my husband.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Luckily, they're all fine.
Good.
And I've no idea how I didn't get it. I tested negative, no idea how, living with him. But that was good news. So, most definitely. And it's good to know that although there's a lot of people I know that have had it, they've, touch wood, all fairly safe from it.
That's really
We're in times with it, isn't it? But just got to keep safe and play our bit, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
My daughter's, she was an adult staff nurse before they started their business 5-6 years ago, and she's applied to, she's volunteered to help with the injections for the vaccinations, which is good. So proud of her to have that part, play that part.
Yeah, you must be very proud. So thank you for sharing that with us. Brilliant. So one final question, how can people get in touch?
They can ring. So my mobile is 07736 248 071. They can email. Our website, we've got a new website which is about to be launched in the next couple of weeks. Brilliant. So that's Pegasus Lift Truck Training.co.uk. And my email is dawn.girardi, GIRARDI, at PegasusLiftTruckTraining.co.uk. Bit of a long one, but
no, that's okay. I will pop the links to those in the description, so that people can get in touch with you and connect with you on social media too.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to catching up with you soon.
You're welcome. Lovely to see you. Take care.
You too. Take care.